Welcome to aleister-nacht's Satanic audio blog. Before I begin to pontificate wildly, I invite you to read the post on my blog entitled Satanic Devotional Prayer. It has really connected with a lot of readers, and over 70 individuals have sent me emails to tell me that it has struck a chord with them. Now, this prayer was not written by myself. It was written by someone who submitted it to me via email, and so with their permission, I posted it. The author requested to remain anonymous, and I will respect that wish. I will say thank you very much for allowing me to share it with the world. I would like to use this week to answer a few frequently asked questions. I did this a while back on my blog, and I got a really good feedback from that. There were a lot of questions that have been given to me, instead of answering those questions individually, I believe that by posting these answers, everyone can benefit. So, as I've stated many times before, I'm happy to respond to questions and assist anyone with their research. I do not claim to have all the answers, obviously, but over the last 25 years or so as a practicing Satanist, I can say that I have seen a lot of things and witnessed a lot of things and learned quite a few things, and I'm more than happy to pass that knowledge along. So let's get started with question number 1. I have recently read your book of Satanic Magic, and want to experience more in Satanism. My husband is not open-minded, and I am afraid to talk to him about this. If you were in my situation, Nacht, what would you do? And so my answer is pretty simple. In my opinion, I believe that change and evolution is very healthy for anyone. It's healthy for their quality of life. If we do not grow spiritually and have a better look at the different things that are out there and the different philosophies and theologies and things like that, then we can't really make a well-informed decision as to what is right with us. And if you do not research other areas of, I will say, the occult, because it's not only limited to Satanism, you can take things from different things, such as Wicca, for instance. But if you do not look at those things and you do not try to expand your knowledge of this subject matter area, then you really will not be able to intelligently address certain questions that come up, or as you're forming your coven or your group and you're beginning to practice and you're looking for ways to maximize your return, you won't be able to do that if you're not totally familiar with what is out there and what other people believe. And I believe that in doing so, it makes you a better teacher and a better leader, because you can take some things from other beliefs and you can use those as illustrations when you're trying to teach someone a certain topic, or you're trying to show them the way to a certain conclusion that you have, and in order to help them to be able to make better decisions. So I would say, if you tell this person your desires and he truly loves you, I believe that he will respect your wishes and he will support you in your journey in Satanism. However, if he does not love you enough to support you in your decision, he will probably try to control you. At first through dialogue and reasoning, or what he thinks is reasoning, later through more aggressive methods. But either way, I always recommend that a person is honest with themselves in exploring Satanism, and that they do not allow anyone, and I mean anyone, to dictate what is or is not acceptable for their life. Question number 2. Have just been reading your book of Satanic Ritual, which had arrived a week ago. You mentioned that you can use either silver or gold candlesticks on your altar. As far as I've read or seen, it seems that only silver should be used and never gold, as gold is associated with Christian beliefs or the Christian church. My answer to that is the idea that gold is of Christian association is a very common misnomer. I seriously believe that this is because of the abundance of gold used in churches and cathedrals and synagogues and different places of worship. The implements of Christian ceremonies seem to always be gold or a gold imitation. However, there is neither a requirement nor a prohibition against the use of gold for satanic purposes. I am personally quite fond of gold, although the extreme price of gold almost makes its acquisition for ritual implements impossible. I recommend use whatever you desire. Satanism does not require dogma, nor does it dictate compliance to anyone's ideology or theology except that of yourself and our master Satan. I guess my answer to this question is you should be comfortable in what you're doing. If you like certain things, use certain things. Be comfortable in what you feel and what you project. And again, no one is going to tell you that is right or wrong. For instance, in satanic rituals, it is customary to use one white candle, and the rest of the candles are usually black or blue or red or some other color. But quite honestly, the color of the candles will not affect your results from a satanic ritual. Let me say that again, because many people will disagree with me on this point, but if you use more than one white candle, let's say that is all that you have are white candles, use those white candles. There is no difference in Satan's eyes nor the demons and the hosts of hell. They appreciate the fact that you are doing something with your heart and that your intentions are good, and they honor that. Don't let the fact that you only have white candles keep you from performing a ritual that you feel like you need to perform. Magic cannot be put into a nice little box. And certainly, again, dogma, these beliefs that you have to have a certain precious metal, you have to have this, you can't do this, you can't do that, again, goes back to controlling. And in Satanism, the only controlling there is the person controlling themselves, or uncontrolling themselves, as the matter may be. Question number 3. You mentioned crystals can be used on altars. What is the significance of using them? So, once again, this kind of goes back to what we were talking about in question number 2. Crystals are a wonderful addition to your altar since they tend to not only be pleasing on the eyes. Crystals can be helpful during energy rituals. Crystals can actually store small amounts of energy, and the larger the crystal, the higher the energy that it can store. Some followers of Satanism and witchcraft and other beliefs will actually carry a small crystal with them every day. This is no different than some of the beliefs where carrying a certain stone, precious metal, or what have you with them will help either heal them or help them increase their magical power or what have you, but there's no difference between the two. I like crystals, and while they are not required, you can perform successful rituals without crystals. I will say that having crystals and having crystals around, for me, I do enjoy, even in the coven setting. Crystals are also used during healing rituals, and they have been for some time in Satanism as well as other beliefs. So my answer is, once again, if you feel comfortable with that and you want to do that and you appreciate the beauty that crystals bring, as well as recognize what power that they do have the capability of producing, then use them. If you want to use them, use them. Number 4, I have read differing opinions of the demon Belial concerning motives, powers, and abilities. What is your belief of Belial? Belial is, of course, one of the 4 crown princes of hell, representing the north and also representing the earth element. Most people will agree with that statement, but after that, most beliefs diverge exponentially from that point onward. He is a very, very skillful demon who leverages our primal desires and encourages the liberation of Satanists from any self-imposed guilt or conscience. Okay, so he is about freeing those bonds and those chains and those things that we use internally to either beat ourselves up through guilt or to prohibit us from doing what we truly want to do. And so he represents that as the truth of the human spirit and being truthful with yourself. That is exactly how I view Belial. He is one of the original group who assisted our master Satan in establishing the truth of the world and the paradigm in which we believe, love, and live. He should not be provoked to anger, however, as he will destroy as he pleases, and I have, in fact, witnessed this before. There are a couple posts in my blog at Satanic Magic at WordPress that illustrate that point. He can be driven to anger and wrath, and he will unleash that. Belial, bless our ritual from the dark earth. Unleash your wrath upon those who desire to bind us. Hail Satan. Question number 5. Are there meditations one uses that are specific to Satanism? Meditation, as I have written before, is very beneficial for Satanists, whether preparing for an upcoming ritual such as the Grand Climax, which is coming this next week, or simply rejuvenating the mind and the spirit. Satanic meditation allows the practitioner to exercise the cognitive magical abilities. Magic, more especially ritual magic, requires sustained focus that Satanists must practice and build up to in order to perform these magical operations. This is something that you must exercise your cognitive abilities over and over, just as you would exercise a muscle to become stronger and to have more endurance. You must do this with meditation as well. Meditation, of course, opens the door for transcendental meditation and the out-of-body experiences that are associated with astral projection. And those things are all started, the root is meditation and becoming very proficient. So I meditate while lying in bed. I find that getting comfortable and allowing my mind to drift in a controlled manner is what works for me. Visit my website at www.aleister-nacht.com. Drop me an email if you have questions, and from time to time I will update my questions here. Questioning everything is the essence of Satanism, and it is the self-preserving reflex that protects the Satanist from becoming a victim. The rationality of belief without substance becomes absurd and unbelievable.